Hey, what's up? This is Nate Pierre back with another video. I kind of wanted to make like a part two to the video that I made yesterday of the Drake and the Kendrick beef. Not to just stay on that topic, but just more to just give y'all an explanation and just give y'all more of historical things that happened that y'all just probably not don't know about and probably ain't nobody gonna tell y'all. So I'm gonna tell y'all. So I'm a rap head first of all, and I have bought so much rap music. I tried to be a rapper. I moved away from my hometown for 10 years to try to be a rapper. I still make music. So I got all my music stuff right there. So this is what I do for real. I mean, if you go on my channel, you see stand up videos. I do that too. But this is my first love, my passion is music. Music has got me so far through life and has like been a consistent thing that I could rely on in life that I knew would, be consistent and how it made me feel. And that's why I was saying about different artists yesterday because I can't really gravitate to artists that I don't feel. Like if I don't feel what you're talking about and it's not appealing to me, or I can see that it's not really genuine, I'm not gonna probably be a fan of those type people. I'm more to the people that are being themselves and aren't scared to be themselves. And that was what I was trying to get to yesterday is that rap was never about like in the 90s if you were trying to be like somebody else you were going to get called out, and so a lot of people try to be different. So that was the whole thing about it, and I think today everybody's trying to do the same thing that somebody else is doing because it worked for them, and that's where everybody's kind of like not succeeding as much because it's too much of the same thing. So that's what I was trying to say. But anyway, um just to show you like how much music I got like old records here. That's the Dougie Fresh. I mean, it's funny because we were talking about the Beastie Boys yesterday, and I don't know if y'all can see that or not, but hold on, let me flip it. So y'all see that? That's Licensed to Ill. That's their first album. I got LL Cool J, uh, Public Enemy, LL Cool J, Rock the Bells. So I mean, this is just like the older stuff that I grew up on. Then you talking about the '90s stuff, like the stuff that really like when I was in high school and stuff like that. I mean, I got like the Machiavelli, Tribe Called Quest. These are all like CDs. I got all. I mean, I got tapes. This is an Eric B and Rakim paid in full tape. I don't know if y'all can see that, but so I mean, a lot of this stuff, I done had this stuff for years, man. A lot of this stuff was over my mom's house. This was funny. I thought was like the most unique thing that I found. This is the Outcast. Like Outcast, I fuck with these motherfuckers super hard. And I fuck with them from day one. This is their first single, Players Ball. This is the single. This is how music was released. They have a single, and this one got like 4 different versions. So let's say the radio clean version, then it's the remix version, then it's the instrumental, and then it's the TV mix. You know what I mean? And they put all that on the CD. You know what I mean? But this is the original Players Ball. This is the first single. When I heard this song, I've been messing with these dudes since then. So I'm a big Outkast fan. I like people that's different, and then I like the street dudes. But I guess like back in our day, our street dudes told both sides of what was gonna happen to you. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't just all glorifying just the bad shit. They let you know like, okay, this go might happen to you too. You know what I'm saying? And so we understood that. But I just wanted to explain more about it because rap started off kind of like fun and dance and stuff like that, but once it started turning like into like messages and like revolutionary like stuff like let me see something, hold up, what's that album cover, but like Public Enemy type stuff, Fear of a Black Planet, all them little albums like that, that's where like things started to take a twist. So basically, like what Scarface say on the song with Ice Cube, "Hand to the Dead Body," they trying to bust our only code of communication. They understood that we was communicating through rap, and we was passing different codes, using different words and different ways of saying it. They didn't really understand it, but once they found out what it meant, that's when it became a problem. Um, so that's what I was trying to say yesterday is that they they hated rap music and they didn't want it to be what it is today. Um, Now you hear it on all the commercials because they don't really have no choice. Kids turned it into what it turned into, and to be honest, it was a lot of white kids because when I was about 18, maybe 19, 20ish, I worked with this Jewish guy here. I'm not gonna say his name on camera. Well, I'll say his first name. His name was Elliot, uh, and he basically had a carpet cleaning business, but the carpet cleaning clientele that he had was like all these rich people. I'm talking about like stupid rich. So I would go in like these houses and I would go in their kids' rooms and we'd be cleaning like the carpet there, and I would just notice that all these kids would have like all this rap shit. But it wasn't like suburban rap. It'd be like Master P and like people that's on his label that y'all probably don't know, like Mac and Cain and Abel and just all this stuff. Like, and they might have like a Will Smith album in there or whatever, but it was a lot of stuff that you just wouldn't think these people would be letting their kids listen to. But and I think that's what became the problem because it was still a lot of racism based around that stuff, and the idols that they wanted these kids to look up to, they was tearing them down and putting up like Easy E posters and all kind of stuff like that. So that's the problem, and it gets created like a big thing. But like I said, they thought rap was gonna go away. If y'all were around to see, like, that's why I know they're doing it on purpose because songs like WAP and all this different stuff getting nominated and winning Grammys when they were like literally, if y'all could have seen how mad they used to be in the 90s about rap and how hard they was going to try to stop it. I'm talking about they was like having protests and running over CDs and just having all these people speak out about it. They was founding celebrities like Dionne Warwick. They was getting politicians like uh, uh, Cedar Lawrence Tucker, the dude that's on the Bone Thug song, Calvin Butts. Like we didn't even ever heard of Calvin Butts until the rap. Like and he gets popped on the scene with that shit. Jesse Jackson, all these different people just speaking out against it. So it was a real big thing back then to try to stop rap. And I just feel like they got to the point where they was like, you know what? If we can't stop it, we just gonna destroy it. And that's what I really believe they did. And I think that's where the course turned, maybe around the early 2000s, something like that, mid probably the early 2000s. After a couple more rappers got in, it gets all turned different. And like I said, I think it's by design and it was done on purpose because, like I said, a lot of those songs back then that we grew up on, depending on what era we were in, like the 80s, when y'all think sometimes when y'all youth look at us, y'all think that I don't know what y'all like how y'all put the concepts, but like I was a kid in the '80s, so I was in my single digits, like until probably '88. I was 10, so we weren't doing coke and shit. You know what I'm saying? The grown ups probably was, but my mama didn't do coke. You know what I'm saying? And I know a whole lot of people with mamas that didn't do that. So, but in the '90s, I think people just had to look in the mirror. Black people, I'm saying, and I think that everybody was like, we got to chill out and do better because then a lot of songs became anti-drug and just like this, like clean up and you like that's why you notice in the '90s a lot of clothes are baggy because people were like covering up more there. Like you had like stuff like the Freaknik, but what y'all don't understand is the Freaknik only happened in one city. We didn't have no Freaknik in Cincinnati. There ain't no Freaknik in Kentucky. It's not a Freaknik in Indiana, Pennsylvania, Michigan. That's what's touching us. So I'm just saying, you had to go to Atlanta on that weekend and do all that. It wasn't like it was every weekend or it was twice a year. It was one time, and you had to go down there to do that shit. So it wasn't like that. I mean, women would carry themselves a lot classier back then, and it was just different. But like I said, they just turned it into a weapon against people now, and they've basically, like I said, they had a lot of labels that were owned by black people back then, and all those labels are gone now. And they're really doing it because what it is that rap music has probably helped support the American economy, to be honest with y'all. I know y'all probably think that sounds silly, but rap music has reached every continent and country on earth. So if you don't think that it's made trillions, not billions, trillions of dollars, then I don't know what to tell you. But it probably has. Like, I mean, just being honest, in 50 years, yeah. And that's the problem is that us being black, they don't want us to ever be associated with nothing of significance and of value and wealth. So for them to take it away from us and or include everybody else in it and put all these people in the pot and say that they helped do it and all this stuff, or just to exclude us out totally, is being done because it's being done for the same reasons it's always being done. They always want to carry this narrative that black people can't come up with nothing unless it's negative and it's violent and blah blah blah. They don't want us to have that stamp on us or that character trait of making great shit. We've done this with rock and roll. We've done this with country music. We've done this with the blues. We've done this with all these different genres. Even when Hollywood was getting ready to crash, the black film market saved Hollywood. You know what I'm saying? So that's the stuff they don't want to talk about. They don't want y'all to know. Like I said, they was going super hard on those rappers back then because they was making albums. And I mean, even like if it was a rapper, like you had like the Tupacs and Public Enemies and stuff like that. But even rappers that were rapping about like gangs or pimps or whatever they was rapping about, even those rappers back then was making songs about the police and police brutality. You can go listen to "Protect and Serve" by UGK. You can listen to "In the Line of Duty" by 8 Ball and MJG. Um, Ghetto Boys, Crooked Officer. You know what I mean? So it was all these different songs. You know what I'm saying? For what was going on at the time, and that's what people was on. Like I was, like it's funny because before Tupac passed away, I used to have tapes of the Bloods and Crips. They used to make albums together. So at one point they had that stuff kind of settled for real. Once the riots and everything happened and they kind of joined up in the riots, it kind of settled down. I ain't from California, but from what I observed, like I said, for them to be making albums together, it was called Banging on Wax. And they'd be like, I mean, trust me, I done bought Down South Hustlers with Master P. I done had all kinds of shit. Like I'm talking about East Coast, Black Moon, Helter Skelter, all kinds of people, man. You know what I mean? Redman is like one of my favorite rappers. You know what I mean? I like EPMD, all them kind of people like Rakim, of course. Uh, like I said, Biggie, and now the all the people that's everybody know. But yeah, so it's just uh it's just something that's being done on purpose. And like I said, that's the reason why they going so hard to try to take it away from us and try to put everybody else in it because they don't want us to be associated with making $1 trillion industry that they're not gonna give us no credit for because even though they've made all this money off of that, most of these artists don't have their rights in their publishing. They don't have the money that they should be getting. A lot of these people go broke or they don't even get what they were supposed to get in the first place. So it's like not only did you not like the music and you didn't want it to become what it, now you got the nerve to rob people. You know what I mean? It's like dang, but it's just like I don't know what could have been done to stop it. I mean, I know that it was a couple. It's a story. I don't really want to go into it, but I know a couple of the label heads tried to, but that just shows you how bad they don't want us to own it if they'll do what they did to those four people to keep them from doing that. You know what I mean? So it's just like they feed y'all youth a lot of lies about a lot of stuff that they don't want y'all to really know about. You know what I mean? They don't want y'all to know the truth about a lot of stuff, and they know that we are the last of the dying truth. You know what I mean? For real, we are, and they know that. That's why they try to always separate us from y'all. Like me as a person that y'all would consider an old head, I just be disappointed in the music because I felt like by now it would be like y'all would be rapping in like other like a whole different language or something by now. Like you know what I mean? I just felt like y'all would elevate it. It would be so much greater. I didn't think it would go backwards, and I just feel like they're using a lot of y'all because of their money and wanting to become something. So that's why that's why I said it's not hard to find a sexy red. If they could turn Sexy Red off tomorrow and turn a new girl on, two new girls on tomorrow, because it's not hard now. I mean, it's bubble gum. I could write Sexy Red shit in probably a couple hours. You know what I'm saying? Her whole album, because it's not that much thought put into it. I could say all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? And it ain't just her, it's just the whole genre with the things they're doing and the way they kind of they're making music and the way they're portraying it to people. And like I said, it's only to us that they're doing this shit to. So that's why I have a problem with it. And that's like I said, I don't have a problem with, like I said, I was talking about Vanilla Ice. I got a Third Base album down here somewhere. Third Base was a group. Third Base is the group that's well, MC Serge discovered Nas, but I used to listen to Third Base. My like the only rapper, white rapper that I probably can say that I really respect is Eminem, and I respect Eminem because he's actually studied the culture and he really loves this shit. Like, you know what I mean? It ain't just like he's just doing it for like, cause somebody told him to, or it's like a part of a agenda or a facade. So that's why I fuck with him. And Eminem, I mean, I haven't heard an Eminem album in shit. I don't know, maybe since Recovery. But his first three albums, I don't have nothing bad to say. I understand that he can't rap about shit, but what he goes through. So I don't expect him to be making these street records and all this different shit. So I understand, like, you know, it's funny to me. I laugh at a lot of shit. Devin the Dude, we went to one of his concerts one time and he was cool as hell. I met Bone Thugs, and I'll tell you that story one day. At my old job, I used to work at the Hyatt here in Cincinnati, and I met Bone Thugs, and they gave me a backstage pass and took me to their concert with them. So that was pretty cool. But I'll tell y'all that story on a separate video, and I got like a couple pictures and shit I can show y'all or whatever. But so yeah, it's like even when I was in Virginia, I met like a lot of people that like. I mean, I knew guys that made beats for Jay-Z and all kind of shit. I didn't know them. I knew them through their family or whatever. But I've been around them doing this kind of shit and seen like their platinum plaques and stuff like that. So that's why I tell people my homeboy, his name is Showtime the Great. It's Shottyme. In 2010, he was the champ on 106 Park for like 3 weeks or 2 weeks or something. So I went to BET with him. I done been behind the scenes of that and seen what was going on or whatever. So that's why I always try to tell people, like, I don't speak from a place of ignorance, or like I've really been around a lot of this daggone like the scene of what goes on behind, you know, closed doors or some of this shit. And I've talked to people that's in the industry, and you know, some of them are like, you know, they gonna go with the plan, but then some of them just tell you like that's how I got really to that Bone concert. I was just talking to Crazy Bone. It was just Crazy Bone, and I happened to mention this rap group, and I think that's what kind of woke him up. But I always tell people, and this is what I want y'all to just realize: just be yourself, man, because really, me being having a personality I'm a Pisces, so I'm different. So me being me is how I got to go to that concert and get the backstage pass and that shit, because I was talking to him about stuff that I was talking about, like, you know, stuff that people consider a conspiracy and blah blah blah. But when I mentioned that rap group to him, he looked at me like, "What the hell? How you know them?" Because he was saying that he knew people in the industry that didn't even know this rap group. So that's what kind of like. But had I walked up to him like with the mindset of how it's portrayed to be the fake shit on some goofy shit, he probably would have told me to get the fuck out of his face. I met Manny Fresh too one day, but yeah, so it's just like, and I chilled out with Parrish Smith from EPMD for about 2 hours talking to him the same way I'm talking and I'm telling y'all, and we was just, you know, it was cool, like, but so I just wanted to give y'all more of a background and just explain that what I meant, because I don't have like I wasn't trying to be funny when I was saying about, you know, being the black people or whatever, but like I said, they just don't do that to nobody else. They just doing that to us, like the reality shows, the music, that is all negative and it's all making people repeat the same thing, you know what I mean? And said it like, oh, that's our whole race, that's how we all act. No, it's not. And these are kids. You can't put what some kids are doing on people our age unless they raise those kids. Then maybe you can have an argument. But if they ain't got nothing to do with that, if they don't live in Chicago, we should not be taking the blame for what's going on in Chicago. I personally ain't never been to Chicago before. I've been to Great Lakes, but that's it. I've never been to Chicago. So, but I just wanted to just make this video. I'm probably talking a little bit too much. Hopefully y'all watch it all the way to the end. But And I appreciate everybody that showed me love on the first one. But like I said, I just wanted to explain that to y'all because, like I said, I just don't think y'all would get them stories from nobody else. So I'm just letting y'all know it's been positive rappers and it's been negative ones. But even when they was negative, they were still telling kids don't do this. You know what I mean? So y'all be good. Peace out.